Story time. Once upon a time, there was a story of three bears. Now, their names were Olivia, Tina, and Henry. It was Baby Bear, Mama Bear, and Daddy Bear. They decided that they wanted to build a brand new house. They found a beautiful location out in the forest where no one had ever built before. So they hired a company. They paved a little road up to their house, and they built a beautiful home out in the forest all by themselves. Now, in their house, everyone had their own room. There was a room for Olivia, there was a room for Tina, and there was a room for Henry. They enjoyed it so very much. They loved that Olivia could go outside and play. She could have so much fun. And one day they were outside playing with Olivia and they heard a noise. They heard a and there was a big construction truck coming down the road. And the construction truck stopped right beside their house and started breaking ground for a new home. And day after day after day, they realized there was a new home going in next door. And so they thought, well, it would probably be nice if we had some other kids in the neighborhood and we could have some other friends come and play with Olivia. And so the house got built and Mama Tina 10 made some cookies and she took them over to the next door neighbor's house and they knocked on the door and they introduced themselves and said, "Hi, we're your neighbors. This is our daughter, Olivia 1. This is my wife, Tina 10, and I'm Henry 100. And the new neighbors stood there with their mouths open wide. What in the world was going on? The daddy finally spoke up and was like, "Thanks for the cookies and thanks for introducing yourselves, but it's kind of weird. We have the same names that you do." Everybody was kind of in awe and thought, this is kind of crazy, but maybe it's kind of cool. So they began to just hang out together. They enjoyed the fact that their Olivias could play together. They could do all the things together. The Tinas would cook together and the Henry Hundreds, they worked together. And it was a great, great day. One day the Olivias were out in the yard and they heard another noise. And it was another construction truck coming down the road, building another house right next door to the new neighbors. The Olivias thought, well, you know what? We became best of friends. Maybe they're going to have somebody that's so much like us. And so Tina 10 got together with the other Tina 10 and decided that they were going to make some cookies and take them to the new neighbors. They did. And guess what happened? When they introduced themselves, the new neighbors stood with their mouths open wide and said, "We have the same name as you. My daughter's name is Olivia 1. My wife's name is Tina 10. And my husband's name is Henry 100. What in the world? This is so crazy." So while they all thought it was kind of cool as well, they decided they might need to have a meeting because the number one person that had a problem with this was the mailman. When the mailman came down the road, he never knew who to give the mail to. He didn't know which Olivia to give the grandma's letter to. He didn't know if it was Tina 10 in the first house, Tina 10 in the second house, or Tina 10 in the third house. And so they decided that they needed to have a meeting and they needed to give some better clarification to help the mailman out. So in their meeting, they decided that they were going to let the original house just keep its names. And that original house got to be Olivia 1, Tina 10, and Henry 100. Now, the second house, what they decided is they got to keep their names, but they decided that they might need to give them a last name. So after many, many votes, they decided that this family's last name was going to be Thousand. And so instead of just Olivia 1, she was going to be Olivia 1000, Tina 10,000, and Henry 100,000. The newest neighbors, they needed a name too. And so they decided that they were going to call these guys the Millions. And so Olivia was Olivia 1 million, Tina 10 million, and Henry 100 million. This is the way that I teach place value to my second graders. I tell them this funny story, and then we build a place value neighborhood that shows all of the place values. Comment, like, and follow for more information regarding this story.